Alright guys, so I'm going to show you a truly impossible self-working card trick that requires zero setup. You can use a borrowed deck if you want to, and the spectator can shuffle these as many times as they want. Now here's what you do. You ask them to cut these into 5 piles onto the table like so. Then you instruct them to just pick any pile, and they can literally pick up any one they want, and then shuffle those as well, and then to spread the cards so that they can see the faces, and just think of any card. Yes, they're not going to pick one, they're not going to name it, they're just going to think of one. Now just for the tutorial, let's say they're thinking of this one right here. Okay, so they're thinking of that card, and then say, alright, once you've got your card locked in your mind, how about you give those a shuffle again so that you don't know what position that card is at. And then you're going to say, look, I'm going to turn around and you're going to deal the cards onto the table face up, and I just want you to remember what number your card falls at. Okay? And so let's do that now. Alright, so if you're watching this, you know what number that is fall at, which is 2. Okay, and so you say, look, I'm going to turn around, put the cards face down, and place that pile on top of any of the others, and just replace all the piles in any order that you want. Better yet, why don't you give these a cut? Now you'd have to agree, up until this point, this is pretty impossible. And then you take the cards back and you say, look, you could have chosen any of these cards, and we cut these cards into 5 piles. Well, actually you did that. And I just want you to do me a favor and just replace the piles. So just place another one on top of here, place that one, any one you want, and spread the cards on the table and say, I tell you what, you're thinking of a card, but what was the position that your card was at? And they're obviously going to say it was at position 2. And then you say, look, if I count 1, 2, what was your card? The Ace of Hearts. And it'll be at that number that they think of every single time. Now you'd have to agree, that's pretty impossible. But did I fool you though? Yo, what's cracking everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I have an absolute fooler for you. It's completely self-working. There is no setup whatsoever. And when you see the method, you're just gonna think, I didn't know as much as I thought. It's a really fun trick to perform. And it's one of those tricks like the last video that I uploaded where you just think, oh God, is that it? And so we're gonna get right into that now. If you're ready to learn it, smash the like button for me, subscribe if you're new, and let's get straight into it. All right guys, so here is the explanation to this truly fooling card trick. Now it is completely self-working, and the secret is just another one of them stupid self-working tricks that just fool everybody, and it's a lot of fun to do. So after the spectator has shuffled the cards, they can cut them if you want them to. You just ask them to cut the piles into 5. So 5 piles like so, and then they choose any pile. So we'll go for this one. Just say shuffle that one as well. And once they've done that, to spread the cards so that only they can see them, and just to think of one. They're not going to pick it or name it, they're just going to think of it. And so just for the tutorial, they're thinking of the King of Hearts. Okay, so once they've thought of it, just say, I'll tell you what, just give those a shuffle so not even you know the position. And here's the important step to knowing the card. You say, look, you're going to deal the cards onto the table face up, and whatever number your card falls at, just remember that number. As they deal the first card, you catch a glimpse, because this is going to be the key card, you turn around straight away. Okay, that's the whole premise of this trick, is to know this first one here. And so as soon as you see that, turn around. And then they're counting in their mind. So 1, 2, so we know it's at position 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, blah, blah, blah. So remember, that's all done in silence. We know the key card is 2 of diamonds, and we don't actually know what their card is yet. Okay, so that key card could be any suit, any number, it doesn't matter, as long as you know what the value in the card is. And so you say, all right, once you've done that, turn the cards face down and put that pile on top of any of the others, and just replace them in any order that you want. And better yet, this is the real fooling part, cut the cards again. So what you do is you turn around, you pick up the cards, and then you're going to break the cards into piles, but what you're really doing is you're looking for that 2 of diamonds, okay? And so you're going to say, look, you could have thought of any one of these and drop piles. You're going to do 5 piles because you're going to explain you could have thought of any one of these cards and we made 5 piles, and on this one here we're spreading through till we find the 2 of diamonds, and we're going to break there, and now we know that pile has the 2 of diamonds on the top. And then you're just going to say, look, just put the rest of the piles on however you want, and they can do that in any order, and then you immediately know that the 2 of diamonds is on the top, which is going to be right next to their card. And so you spread these onto the table and say, look, you could have shuffled these cards, you've cut them into 5 piles, you chose any pile that you wanted, that you then shuffled it again, and then you dealt cards onto the table. Do you remember what number your card was at? And they'll say, yeah, it was at position 2. And from the top, you just count 1, 2, and you ask for their card. They will say the King of Hearts, and it'll be at that number every single time. I'm going to go over quickly. What will happen is sometimes if they cut 5 piles, just like I did in the demonstration, their card was on the top, which is kind of the grail effect of this whole thing. So they shuffle the cards, right? And let's say the 6 of diamonds is the one that they just looked at, and then once they've dealt them onto the table like so, you've caught a glimpse of the key card, and we don't obviously know what their card is until they until they tell you what number it was. But let's assume that's the card they thought of right there. Okay, and so we replace these in any order. And then we know the 6 of spades is the key card, so we do the whole patter of you could have thought of any of these, and we're literally just looking for the 6 of spades. That's all we are doing here. And so we go through, there it is there, and then we just place that one there and say, look, just place any of those piles on top. And here's the crazy part now, is you just say to them, all right, what position was your card at? And they'll say number 1, and it's going to be right on top. And that's the craziest part of this whole trick. And so that is the explanation to this stupid self-working card trick that got me, and it got me really bad, and it's a little bit annoying, but hey, I hope you enjoyed it. Alright, so here's another little tip, and it's kind of a different way to present the trick, which I quite like as well. So once they've shuffled and they cut them into 5 piles, here's another thing you can do. Once they pick up a pile and they think of a card, so let's assume it's the King of Hearts again, they give it a shuffle, like so, and then once they deal face up, you catch a glimpse of the key card. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we know the position of the card is at 7. Key card is number 2. And once they've replaced these like so, here's what you want to do now. So you do the same thing, but you're not going to put the 5 piles on the table face up. You say, look, you could have thought of any one of these cards, and what you're doing is you go break at the key card and say, I'm just going to place that one right there, and then you place this pile here onto the top, so now that the key card is on the top like that. So that's another way you can present it. And then what do you do with this card here? You say, look, was your card the 2 of hearts? They'll say no. All right, I tell you what, let's do an even better trick. What position was your card at? And they'll just say, I think it was 7. And so they count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's another way of presenting it if you don't want to spread and make the 5 piles onto the table like so. So there you go. You know, as magicians, sometimes we just think to ourselves we know a lot, right? We see another card trick, some sleight of hand, and we think we just know. And then a good old-fashioned self-working card trick just stumbles into our life and just ruins everything. That's basically what this trick is here. So if you enjoyed that, guys, just let me know in the comments down below. If you want me to keep doing self-working card tricks, I will. Just let Uncle Steve know and I shall deliver. This is our channel. So whatever you want to see, just let me know down in the comments, or if you want me to do more complicated stuff, let me know as well. But I'm enjoying these self-workers at the moment. So if you enjoyed that, like the video, subscribe if you're new, and as always, I will see you next time. Bye-bye.